What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? This is going to be your review for Love and Marriage Huntsville Season 2, Episode 8. Um, so we start this episode off with, we have Marcel and Maurice. They're going out. Maurice said, listen, I'm taking a bar in 10 days. All I've been doing is studying. So I'm going to take me a little mental break. And he's, having a conversation. They meet down to the pool hall, him and his brother. And they having brother talk, And Maurice is just basically saying he's worried about the bar. His brother is telling him giving him that good talk, like, listen, you prepared, you're ready, go knock it out, you good to go. But then Marcel starts to open up to Maurice about some of his concerns with Latisha and their business. He said, I feel like I'm doing this by myself. He said, we've had these great things happen to the company in this last year, but I feel like I'm doing it by myself. I feel like Latisha is just not with me. And he was saying that, he just feels like she's just not as vested as he wants her to be, and that he almost feels like this isn't what she wants to be doing. She's just doing it to make him happy or going through the motions. And, the way I take that, Marcel, and y'all know I rocks with Marcel, and Marcel, I don't know if you looking, but if you looking and you listen, you hear what I'm saying to you. That's what Latisha's been trying to tell you for the last 2 years, that at least that the show has been on. She's not feeling fulfilled. She doesn't know what she wants right now. She doesn't know where she fits in right now. She is doing it, one, because it makes you happy, two, because it's what you guys agreed would be the case, and three, it's what she already knows. So her going back to school, her trying to work outside of the house, her doing all of these things, that's what all of this is about. And so your feeling is correct. You kind of are in it by yourself right now. That doesn't mean she won't come back around. Sometimes we're not sure what we want. We go out, we explore, and we realize that, where we were is what we wanted to begin with. And I told you guys in an earlier video that Marcel had done a live explaining that him and Latisha had built these things, and there were even things that Latisha had that were in her name. And so that's why he didn't understand her wanting to go out and work for other people and work outside of what they've created together. Because he was like, why you want to make money for other people? And I understood that. I absolutely understood that mindset. But the flip side is, yeah, she has all of that, but she doesn't know if that's what she wants. You know what I mean? Owning apartment buildings, owning commercial real estate, yeah, very lucrative. But she's just not sure if that's where she wants to build her empire right now. And so you probably are kind of by yourself right now. And I'm not saying that makes it okay. I think that's a conversation. I think y'all need to really sit down, because it sounds to me like y'all aren't on the same page. But I feel like y'all ain't been on the same page really since the show started, which has really been the whole issue. He said that he feels like she's putting more energy into the podcast than she's putting into their business. She may very well be, because right now that's what's feeding her. That podcast is making her feel good. It's feeding her right now. So I see where Marcel is coming from, and I'm not saying he's wrong or right. I'm not saying Latisha is wrong or right. I think I think she's just having a crisis in her professional life. She knows she loves her husband. She knows she loves her kids, but professionally, she's just not feeling fulfilled, and she doesn't know professionally. She doesn't know if that's what she wants. I don't know, but it's definitely a conversation that needs to be had sooner rather than later, though. Now, over to the Holts house, Martell is playing, dad. What was that show called? That movie. Anyway, he's the at-home dad right now, and he's got the kids while Melody is out doing, building her empire, doing what she was gonna do. Now, of course, he's feeling some kind of way about it, and he's talking to her about because last week, and I missed that part of their conversation, was where he was asking her to get a nanny, and she was telling him, you get the nanny, I'm busy, whatever the situation is. So they still clearly don't have a nanny. And he's waiting for her to bring dinner home, because he's like, well, listen, you coming in late, the least you could do is bring home dinner. And it sounds like he's sick, like his voice sounds like he had a cold or something like that. And in this situation, I really see both sides of this coin. Martell is like, listen, I'm watching the kids. I'm at home with the kids. The least you can do is bring home dinner. Melody's thing is, you already here. You couldn't make something. Like, you couldn't scramble up some eggs. You couldn't make some. You couldn't do something. You couldn't pick up the phone, order. You couldn't Uber Eat. You couldn't Postmate. Like, you knew I was running late. You couldn't take care of dinner. And, then Martell, he sounded like Marceau for a minute, telling her that she needed to cook dinner for him, and he expected her to cook dinner, have dinner on the table. That's what she's the wife, and that's what he expects. And I was like, who we talking to right now? Is this Martell or Marceau? Like, that sounded like a Marceau comment. But basically their conversation came down to the same thing they've been talking about for the last 3 weeks. Martell is feeling some kind of way about Melody working so hard. And at first it was, well, you're doing too much, you just had the baby, you need to let your body heal, you need to do this, you do that. But the more and more he talks, the more and more it really sounds like he's just not happy that she's doing all of these projects. And Melody said exactly what I said 3 weeks ago. Melody said, I need to do all of this while it's hot. Melody understands that they have lightning in the bottle right now. For good, bad, or indifferent. Whether all of the notoriety is coming about because of the affair, because people, say that they, because of all the things, good, bad, or indifferent. Whatever the reason is, whatever the reason is, she understands that there might be 15 minutes. And what she's trying to do is take that 15 minutes and build it into 15 years with the foundations being laid there, whether it be through financial or whatever the situation is. And I can't be mad at her about that. I do understand where Martell is coming from. I do. I think part of it is selfish, but I don't think all of it's coming from a selfish place. I don't. I think part of it is, though, if I'm going to be honest. But anyway, but he sounded like a little chauvinist at one point, though. He was sounding crazy. Now, Latisha is having her live podcast event. They're doing like a marriage panel. And the reality of the situation is, I forgot to bring this up on last week's episode, but she was talking, and it was almost as if she felt like she had to compete with Mel, and so she threw this out there that she was having this event. She told Kimmy she was going to be on the panel, and Kimmy didn't even know she was going to be on the panel. And I just feel like she's trying, Melody said something in her confessional that she was like, you're trying to, get from out my shadow, like you're doing everything I did. You're trying to be me. And I'm going to be honest with you. There's some validity in that. Not that she's trying to be Mel, because I don't think she's trying to be Mel, but that she's following Melody's blueprint, if that makes any sense. Because I cringed, and I don't know why I forgot to even say it in the review last week. I cringed with them when she said, well, I'm having an event, and nobody knew about the event but her. And it almost sounded like she was making it up as she was talking. But neither here nor there, honey. She was on the radio promoting the event. We get to the event, and she, Marceau's running late, but he was coming. He was on his, he was coming from out of town, but he made it. He got there. And the event seemed like it went off nice. Destiny and LeBaric were in the audience. Melody showed up. She even had a little gift for Latisha. Latisha mama was there. Miss Wanda was there. And of course, Miss Wanda looked over and was like, ain't nobody tell me Mel was going to be here. What Mel doing here? And I was just like, maybe that's why nobody told you. And she said, well, I'm going to be on my good behavior because it's my daughter's event. That didn't last long. That lasted till the event was over. And then once it was over and they were mingling, and she felt the need to roll up on Melody. But before I get to that, the panel seemed nice. The questions were fine. LeBaric decided to add his little 2 cents about marriage, which was very interesting. He was coming off very archaic, and then he gonna ask Mel where is Martell, and Melody was like, listen, I'm here as a a good faith gesture, but Martell ain't rocking with these people like that, so I'm here solo dolo. And LeBerick was like, well, he left me hanging. He told me not to come. So when I saw you walk in the door, I almost thought he was coming. Well, if he told you not to come, I think he was seemed to me like he was very clear about his intentions. Anyway, um, but it seemed like it was a nice event. They had their panel and they were talking about infidelity. And Melody brought up a good point. You know, Basically all the guys on there was talking about how it ain't a deal breaker and this, that, and the other. Y'all know good and damn well for men it is a deal breaker. Like men, y'all can go out here and do whatever the hell y'all want to do, but let y'all catch y'all woman cheating, it's a whole nother conversation. You be ready to batten down the hatches and fire everything up, child, please. So I agree with Melody on that one. And she shut up. I ain't gonna go down that road. So we get to the end of the event. Wanda rolls up on Melody. Now Melody then gave Latisha a gift. She gave her an olive branch, symbolic of them extending the olive branch. She said, I appreciate you inviting me and so forth and so on. It was a good event, even though she was talking shit in the confessional. But that's what we do on social media, child. I mean, in these in reality shows, child. They talk trash in the confessional, and they was saying their piece or whatever. So Miss Wanda gonna roll up on Melody, and she was just like, because Melody was talking to Kimmy at the time. Should have known you would be over here with her. And Kimmy was like, see, there you go again, Miss Wanda. She was like, Miss Wanda, you doing too much. Like, I'm gonna need you to. Why are you doing so much? Why are you so extra? You would be over here. Then she gonna ask Melody, why you here? Cause my daughter told me you put her out of her event. So what you doing here at her event? Or you put you out of her event. You know what I'm saying? Your event. Baby. So Kimmy walks away. Kimmy was like, I will not be in the middle of that conversation. But when I tell you that Melody shut Miss Wanda down, Melody said, your daughter was escorted out of my event because she wasn't invited. I'm here at her event because I was. I said, oh shit. I said, well, that's that. Ain't nothing left to say. And Melody actually walked away. She walked away and she said, now this time I was polite. Next time, maybe not so much. And I don't blame her. Miss Wanda, you doing too much. And once again, just like your husband tried to tell you last week, Latisha, your mother causes problems. Now, you and Melody on one side of the room trying to build your friendship back up, or at least be cordial. I don't even, friend might be a strong statement, but at least even build y'all up to a point where y'all can be in the room together and y'all can laugh and joke and y'all can have a good conversation and y'all can support each other's events. And 5 minutes later, your mama is damn near tearing the whole thing down all over again. And you don't even know she's doing it because you're out, working the crowd, working the room because it's your event. You don't have time to babysit your mom. And that's all your husband was trying to tell you last week, that your mother is creating these problems for you. But whatever, you gonna listen to your mama. I mean, I know that's your mama, so it is what it is. That's your mama. Kimmy had a good conversation with Maurice's sister. She's running the business, the Credit One business. And basically, I feel like she had this lunch with Kimmy to fill Kimmy out to find out if Kimmy was coming to work there. And I think it was her nice way of letting Kimmy know, look, we got this under control. If you quit your job. Because she was like, so if you quit your job, what you gonna do? And Kimmy was like, hey, Kimmy was basically like, Lizzie, you ain't got to worry about me coming to Credit One. That ain't my thing. I tried to work there. I tried to make that work. That's just not my cup of tea. If I do quit my job, then I'll probably just do the real estate full time. She said, I do want Maurice and I to find something, but I want us to find something together separate. And baby, as soon as Kimmy said that, why the sister was like, oh, well, I can support that. I'm Team Kimmy now. Well, what were you before? You weren't Team Kimmy before? See, that's what I was thinking. I was like, so you weren't Team Kimmy before? So I feel like her whole purpose of that conversation was to fill her out and find out, so I got this thing under control. So, Maurice keeps talking about you quitting your job. I just want you to know. We ain't got a whole lot going on down here to the credit one office. I'm gonna need you to find something else. But then we see Melody read, she's doing her lines for the play, and Melody actually like she, excuse me, she was actually reading those lines. She was putting emphasis in the right places and all that. She missed a cue, but that wasn't no big deal. I mean, you reading a whole play, you missed one cue, it ain't that big of a deal. You got it. But I just thought it was very interesting that Martell, he wasn't feeling her doing this play. Because, of course, the play is about, first lady of church, husband cheats, whatever. And he was like, so did you go to them or they came to you? And she was like, well, they came to me. He was like, you don't think they came to you because of our situation? And she was like, well, no. I mean, I know in the back of Melody's mind, she's not stupid. But Melody's thing was, it doesn't matter. It's not our exact situation. And it is what it is. She was like, and it doesn't matter because I'm going to do it and you're going to support me. Boom. I said, Melody, you better get your man together. But of course they chose you because of y'all situation. And Martell was like, well, I just don't want it to bring up any bad memories. I just don't want it to bring up anything and have us to relive it again. She was like, us? She said, us relive it again? You mean me? I said, Melody, listen, I was with Melody this whole episode. I was loving Melody, okay? Because Melody was like, us or me? She said, listen, doing this play is not going... She said, for some people, that could be a good therapy session. Like, it could be good therapy. But that is not... The one thing is not going to make me do the other. Like, it is what it is. Like, it happened. We went through it. I ain't mad about it. And truth be told, both y'all are capitalizing off the situation. But Martell just cannot accept what he did. Like, I don't know why he can't just stand in it. You done been through therapy. It's been all through social media. Your mistress done interviews and all this other stuff. Boo. The cat is way out of this bag. Just stand in the shit and keep it moving. Whatever. Then we have this very, very interesting conversation between Kimmy and Latisha. They go out to eat. And basically, I feel like Latisha is trying to check Kimmy. And she's basically trying to tell Kimmy, at the end of the day, I know you trying to build your relationship with Melody, and, and I don't have a problem with that. Pause. You absolutely have a problem with it. You have a huge problem with it. And that's part of the problem that you and your mother have. But she was like, I feel like, at the end of the day, you supposed to be my friend and my sister. We're family. And at the end of the day, if it come down between me and Melody, I expect you to take my side. And Kimmy was like, but I'm not. Like, she said, the last time I tried to have your back and take your side, your husband told me I was wrong. Your husband basically told me mind my business. So I'm not going to keep putting myself on the line. I told you that. And once I told you that I was no longer putting myself in the middle of this situation, that should have been the end of it. You should have known. And she said, well, I just felt like last year when we were at the reunion, I felt like I was on that couch by myself. My husband didn't have my back. You didn't have my back. Maurice didn't have my back. I just felt like it was me fighting them by myself. She said, and people act like I did something wrong, and I didn't do anything wrong. And Kimmy was like, so you don't think you did anything wrong? And here's what people do when they know they're wrong. Now you want to qualify it and say, but they were trying to destroy my marriage. I didn't say anything about Melody that she didn't already know. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if the whole world knows my husband is cheating on me. It matters if you were part of the whole world knowing that my husband cheated on me, and to the extent that my husband cheated on me, and in the manner in which he cheated on me. And that is what Melody believed. Whether she's right or she's wrong, Melody believed that Latisha had something to do with the bloggers getting information. Whether she's right or she's wrong. So they believed it. And so yes, they came back guns a-blazing, and they were throwing as much dirt because they felt like you were throwing that dirt. Kimmy's thing was, but I don't know it's not true. She said, I mean, Marcel cheating on me, I'm going to say I know it's not true. Kimmy said, you might know it's not true. I don't know it's not true. And so I'm not going to go out here saying it's not true, and I don't know it to be a fact. I said, oh, Kimmy. You know something we don't know, Kimmy. Ooh. But she said, I'm not going to do it. And Latisha was like, well, this is what I expect from you as my friend, as my family. I expect you to have my back. And Kimmy was like, okay. She said, so I understand where you stand. Notice Kimmy never said, okay, girl, I will. Okay, I'll do that next time. She just said, I understand your expectation. I understand what you expect from me. She didn't say she was going to do it. And she also told Latisha, I'm letting you know now, I had to leave the room to keep from cussing your mama out. I'm going to need you to keep your mama calm down, or it's going to probably not be pretty. Now, I'm paraphrasing. That ain't what she said word for word, but that's pretty much what she said, okay? But she did say she had to leave the room to keep from cussing her mama out. So that says to me that your mama need to she need to calm her ass down before I cuss her out. Like, that's how I took that. You might not take it the way I took it, but that's how I took it. Anyway, y'all, that was the episode. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Drop it in those comments. Peace.